Come on, get Akal Kardi at cheap prices. Opportunities like this don't come around often. Akal Kardi is a soda.
There lived a boy in a village. When his father died, he became an orphan. Its leaves were a thorny vine. That's why he left nothing as an inheritance for his son. After Pata's death, Dalar was very worried because he had nothing like Pata. There was no knowledge either.
What should I do? I don't know what to do.
Suddenly an idea came to his mind, and his eyes sparkled. He opened a small shop in the village market and put a board on it, on which it was written, "This shop sells wisdom." Everyone was very surprised. They look at the board and say, "Yes, yes, the shop of wisdom." The astonishment of the people increased at that moment when he began to call out for courageous individuals.
Hurry up, buy some wisdom at honest rates. These opportunities are rare. Wisdom is a treasure.
Dima, who is this? What should I say? He has opened a shop for wisdom and is calling out to people.
The crowd mocked Dalar, considering him to be insane. And not a single customer came to his shop. It was clear to everyone that wisdom is not a commodity that can be traded. Days passed in this manner. However, Dalar did not give up, and he kept calling out while standing in front of his shop. A wealthy merchant's son happened to pass by. Upon seeing Dalar shouting, he walked over to him, and he began to ask,
Brother, what is the price of this item you are selling per kilogram? Sir, wisdom. It is not sold by weight. Tell me how much money you want to buy wisdom for.
The son of the merchant, while giving 1 rupee, said, "Wisdom for this much." Dalar wrote on a paper, "Stay away when you see 2 people fighting." Upon returning home, the boy informed his father that he had purchased wisdom for only 1 rupee. His father said angrily,
"What are you talking about? Can wisdom be bought?"
I am not joking. See, it is right here in my pocket.
He took the paper from his pocket and gave it to his father. When the merchant read what was written on the paper, he became furious. And he exclaimed angrily,
"Oh, everyone knows that one should stay away from fights. What was the necessity of spending 1 rupee for this?"
In a fit of rage, the merchant went to the market, seized Dalar at the wisdom shop, and started to say,
"You are a cheat and a fraud. You have swindled my son. Give it back."
I have sold wisdom to your son. If you want your money back, return the wisdom that has been bought.
The merchant returned the paper to Dalar, on which the written matter was. Dalar said,
Oh, what is this? This is just a piece of paper. Where is the wisdom that I sold?
During this dispute, a lot of people gathered, and everyone supported Dalar. The merchant, in a panic, said, "How will I return today?"
You will have to write that your boy will not use the wisdom I sold wherever 2 people are fighting. Your boy will be there.
The merchant wrote this letter for Dalar and gave it to him. It so happened that the king there had 2 queens who were always quarreling with each other. Each of these queens had 2 maids. They were always in conflict. One day, an incident occurred where both queens decided to send their respective maidservants to the market to purchase pumpkins, and they both reached the same vendor simultaneously. At the vendor's place, there was only 1 pumpkin remaining. One of the maidservants exclaimed, "I will take this one." Then the other one said, "No, I will take it. I came here first." A fierce argument broke out between them. Initially, they exchanged harsh words with each other. After that, they began to fight and claw at each other. As the fight began, the merchant's son happened to be passing by. The merchant had instructed that his son should be present instead of fighting. That his son should be there instead of fighting. One of the maidservants told the merchant's son, "You are my witness. He has pulled my hair." Meanwhile, the shopkeeper ran away from the shop. Both maidservants went to their respective queens to complain about each other. about one another. With a heavy hand of salt and spices on their grievances, the two queens made their way to the king to begin their appeals. They ordered the witness to be presented in court. They threatened him that if he did not rule in their favor, they would have him executed. The merchant and his son were scared, realizing one witness cannot serve two. How can one person witness for two? The one he testified for would face execution. The father and son were in grave danger. Suddenly the merchant thought of the clever trader. He thought of Dyla. He remembered.
He is the only one who can guide me out of this predicament now.
He said. Then he went to Dyla and told him everything. Dyla listened carefully to his words and...
I am a clever merchant and I can tell you how to save your son, but you will have to pay me 500 rupees,
said the trader.
When your son enters the court, he must behave like a madman. This is the only way he can save himself.
The next day, when the matter was presented before the king, the merchant's son showed up to give his testimony and started making absurd statements. The king yelled in fury.
Who is this crazy person you brought as a witness? Remove him from here.
The merchant was happy to hear the king. He couldn't contain his happiness. He announced that the lad had saved his son's life by giving up his intellect. Yet, the merchant was now troubled by a new worry. He considered,
If this news reaches the king that my son pretended to be mad and tricked him, he will have his head cut off.
he spoke to his son.
When you are feeling good, you should reveal everything to him. There is a chance that upon hearing the truth, he may grant you mercy and spare your life.
The son grasped what his father was saying, and at that moment, he went to the royal court to present his plea.
If you are not offended, I want to tell you something true.
The king was surprised.
Yes, speak the truth. What's wrong with that?
The boy shared the complete tale with the king, and after hearing it, the king laughed a lot and responded,
You've made a complete fool of us, boy. Now leave this place, and I want to meet that clever trader Daler. I want to meet him. Sell him in the palace.
When Daler found out, he came to the palace trembling with fear. He fell down at the king's feet and cried for mercy.
If I have made any mistake, I apologize, my lord. Please forgive me. I will serve you as your slave for my entire life.
The king laughed and said,
Indeed, yes. You are a wise man. Please share some of your wisdom with me.
Hearing the king's words, Daler felt a bit more courageous and said,
If I were to sell wisdom to a king, it would be priced at 1 lakh rupees.
The king right then gave him the kingdom and said,
I have stated the price. Now give me wisdom. Before undertaking any task, consider it carefully and do not hurry to act.
Saying this, Daler left that place. Shortly after he left, the minister concocted a potion with a physician. Presenting the cup to the king, he said,
Quickly drink this, sir.
The king thought of Daler's words, that one should think carefully before doing any work. Do not rush into work. The king studied the minister's face. He seemed to be anxious. His face was covered in sweat. The king watched him closely. Then the minister fell down at the king's feet and spoke.
Your health is good, but I have mixed poison in the medicine. I did this on the orders of the little queen to end your life.
The king instructed the little queen, the minister, and the physician to drink 4 sips of the potion each. They begged a lot, but the king ignored them. They died after drinking the potion. The king chose the bold one who traded in wisdom as his minister.